It's education time on Last Man In Podcast, episode 101.
That's why we don't have Dan.
We're teaching...
Just kidding.
No. Well, we decided to bring in an educational specialist.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We can't say talk about it.
No,
don't
it's
say
an educational specialist. That's what we're referring to him as.
Yeah.
Also, former partner, guest co-host
Guest
for a
sit-in
summer.
for the greatest co-host, me, obviously.
Stefan.
Which is funny because have you seen the stats for when Stefan's on and I'm not?
Very good.
Way better.
Actually,
way better.
Actually, I will just say this.
The most listened to one was the first one you were ever on out of all of our podcasts.
Really? What was it though?
It was the Hawks Champs.
Okay.
I will say, who was doing the uploading and tagging?
Well, you can do the tagging.
No,
it's fine.
No, I don't want to. That's your responsibility.
You're just throwing me under the bus.
Yeah, we totally are.
Oh, that's fine. Anyways,
So,
here to educate
Today on the podcast, we're going to be talking all advanced stats because it is summertime and there's not much else to talk about. A couple signings here and there, but Cam doesn't know a bunch about advanced statistics with the NHL, so we plan on teaching him.
Yeah, I know, like, when people are like, oh, you hear about the advanced stats and sabermetrics and all this? It's like, yeah, you know it. I'm like, dude, his Corsi? Off the chain.
Yeah.
And they're like, what is it? I'm like, off the chain. Deflect the question. What is his Corsi, though?
Repeat with the question. But what is it? But what is it, eh? You're reading questions. Am I repeating questions?
I think you're deflecting the question. Deflecting it by asking. That's what... All right, well, where are we going to start?
So,
actually, do we have any NHL news?
Yeah, well, there's signings that happened.
What?
You didn't know about it?
I heard one signing.
There's two.
Okay.
But before we get there, obviously, we got to talk to Stefan because we got to get his thoughts on what's happened since last time he was on the podcast. So everything.
A year.
But
All right, so what do you think of the NHL in 2016?
What do you think about the NHL going to Vegas? No. Mostly just keep it to the broad stuff like the Subban trade and whatnot. So just to get another voice on another opinion out there. So first we'll start with Subban.
And the Subban, you can bring in Corsi stats to explain if you want to.
All right. Advanced stats.
The Subban trade, I mean, I see both sides. Like, obviously everyone's going to say Nashville won because they got Subban. But I think right now, I mean, Weber's going to be good for Montreal for 2-3 years. And then obviously he's going to start getting old. Like, his game is not... He's a very physical game, and those guys tend to wear down. I mean, everyone's thinking, like, I think everyone just thinks he's a pylon, though. It's like, oh, Shea Weber, he can't skate. Like, he led in the past, like, 10 years, I think he's, like, leaps and bounds ahead of any defenseman in goals. So, I mean, like, that's not a bad thing to have. It's not like their power play gets that much shittier with Shea Weber. But, I mean, like, the only thing that really sucks is if I was reading about if he retires... Like, Nashville is so fucked. Because, like, there's a cap recapture penalty. Like, because they signed that deal, like, prior to the last collective agreement or whatever it was. And, like, for those guys who signed those, like, front-loaded contracts, you have to pay back all that cap. And I think if, like, depending on 1 year, if he retires at a certain time, like, I think they have...
It's
Nashville gets
$34 million or something.
Yeah, I think
it's stupid.
It's like that was 22, but $22 million of their cap is just eaten away by his contract. Like, not that they have to pay him that money,
recapture it.
But you can't use it.
It counts against their cap, and if it's only like $75 million or whatever it is, $80 million now. Like,
wait, 22 in 1 year?
In 1 year?
No.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I thought it was over a course of time.
It depends if he retire, like when he retires and stuff.
So say in 5 years he's like, I'm outie.
Yeah, they have definitely a big recapture penalty.
And you know what I love about that? How you're like, well, they signed it. It's like, this is the kind of crazy shit that Paul Holmgren, and I love how he's still there. Because no one's, like, they went to go fire him. They're like, he's like, I want to go higher. They're like, I don't want to tell him. All right, you can go. You can go. Hexy's going to take your job. And he's like, that's fine, but I want the big seat. They're like, you can have it.
You
It's
can
okay,
have it.
Paul.
Yeah. You be head of hockey operations.
Yeah, exactly.
That's made up position.
That's like Brian Burke when he got head of hockey ops in Calgary. Everyone's like, I think I know who the GM is.
Brad Trebling's just like, fuck.
God damn it.
Here, I do nothing.
Brian, let's sign somebody.
No. Do it. And then he runs away and he comes back to Dougie Hamilton. I got him.
and then they're looking to trade him.
like a cat bringing you like a dead fish. It's like, are you proud of me? You proud of me?
I did it. Oh, Jesus. Get that away from me.
Yeah, God. Now we're going to try and trade him this year.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just trading to spite you.
Yeah, I don't know what.
Taking the fish and throwing it away. No, I did it for you. Not good enough. Yeah, so the Flyers are crazy. That's awesome that they did that.
Yeah.
They did that. Like, they made that deal and I looked at it when it first came out and I'm like, well, that is a lot of money, but okay, I get it. And then the way they made it, they're like, we're going to bankrupt Nashville. They're going to lose a hockey team.
Well, they were trying to like make it so that Nashville couldn't afford, because his cap hit is like $7.5 million. But I think the first year he was paid like $22 million.
Well, for the first, correct me if I'm wrong, but the first 4 years of that contract, he made $14 million a year. But his signing bonus was $10 million.
Yeah.
In July 1st. So July 1 every year, Weber's like, come on, guys, hot dogs on me.
Yeah.
Whoa, I got the Costco kind. Lay off.
We're not going.
I think he got another $8 million this year as a signing bonus that Montreal had to pay.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
They required him before July 1st, so they had to pay a signing bonus. But it's Montreal. $8 million does not matter.
Well, Mr. Gillette also. He's still the owner, right?
Yeah, he actually yesterday or today was like totally backing up. I mean, he's got it.
Yeah.
Molson, right?
Yeah, Molson. Sorry,
Molson.
yeah.
Gillette.
I'm thinking of, because doesn't Molson own... No, he doesn't. I'm
Molson's
thinking
beer
Molson
can-
owns Gillette and he owns the Pats. Not true. That's how my ad.
Kraft owns the Pats.
There you go. Got it.
Your Kraft
Irrelevant.
dinner helps the Pats sign Tom Brady.
That's awesome.
True story.
His salary in the first year was $1 million in 2012.
And what was the
His
signing
signing
bonus?
was 13.
Yeah. That's totally. They're like, okay, how can we completely
Oh my
obliterate
God.
this franchise? Well, and that was right because they signed that. They couldn't, because I know they were
couldn't
talking
get
about
Suter.
giving like monster or like pretty big deals to Suter and Weber, and then that happened, and Suter's like, well, I'm not signing for 5. I'm not Duncan Keith. I won't do it.
I will not do it.
I will not.
$4 million? Yes, I'll take that salary for 10 years. Yeah, so that was crazy.
So back to the PK Subban Weber deal. You think it's like okay for now,
For
but
the next couple of years, I mean, like, it doesn't make Montreal a better team. I don't see the point of it. I get they're just doing it, and I don't think PK was the issue. Like, your issue is you rely 100% on your goalie, and your goalie got hurt, and you just showed so many deficiencies in your teams. Like, we can't score goals, we get heavily outshot every game, and that's what, like, PK isn't going to change. Like, trading him away doesn't reduce you guys not scoring goals.
well, and even during that, like PK was one of the very few guys. Like I read an article saying like he still remained constant with points. He still was steady Eddie, like 18, 19 points in the 20 odd games that they played. Steady Eddie, and it's like, well, why would you?
And then was it Michel Therrien just like threw him under the bus that one game he had a giveaway for the OT winner?
Oh yeah, and then PK, because they interviewed him, and he's a personality, one of like, as I heard on another podcast, like he's one of 5 guys in the NHL that he can be his own brand because he can form full sentences, and you'd be like, yeah. You totally didn't read that off a prompter.
Yeah.
You came up with that.
Yeah, like he pucks in deep and
Yeah, exactly. And they asked him, they're like, oh, what would you change it? And he's like, no, I would do that play every time because I was trying to help my team win. I was in overtime.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, Michel Therrien's like, oh, he's worst player in the world. Worst player. My 10-year-old kid can score better goals than that and dangle.
The other thing that a lot of people forget about that Montreal team too was when they lost Price, the team started going like downhill. Then Gallagher left, and it was just a tire fire after that. Like nobody I think more and more Montreal fans are realizing how good Gallagher was to that team, and I think that's why they went after Andrew Shaw, who's a worse version of Gallagher, just to have more support there. But yeah, they're Stefan's right. Like they rely way too much on Carey Price and
Gallagher.
Yeah, Brendan Gallagher.
He left?
No, he got hurt. He got hurt.
Okay, sorry.
But he was huge there.
Yeah, and I heard Carey Price apparently in the dressing room is like the guy who calms the storm. So like when shit kind of gets like a little fried, he's like, hey guys. I got it. Don't worry. And then just everyone's like, okay, yeah, Carey Price got it. Like, fuck it.
Well, and that's one thing that like I do like about the deal is that Shea Weber. I mean, you for sure know he's going to have guys on lock in that room.
Yeah, I mean,
because
he can eat them. He
exactly. But then again, like Kate, now they're on Montreal. Radulov. I like it.
Apparently, they asked him like.
They asked Weber.
And I mean, I'm pretty sure he was like, don't do it. I wouldn't. I wouldn't get. I mean, I like it as a person. I mean, like. I'd like to hang out with Radulov, and go drinking till 2, 3 in the morning before a playoff game because it seems like a good time. But as a coach, be like, "What are you doing, man? Like, what?"
And he's like, I'm not getting paid. It's playoffs. You don't know me.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, but you're kind of go for a cup here.
I need you right now. I mean, it's not that it's a 1-year signing, so I mean, like if it doesn't pay off, but it's not the. I hope it works. I think they're really like Marc Bergevin is reaching for anything. And the worst part is like Montreal. Like again, it's French Canadian. I'm French Canadian. I love it and stuff. But like, no, we got to have a French Canadian coach. I'm like, well, you're pretty limited in your options. Like all of those guys that I know in the NHL that are French Canadian, either Patrick Waugh, who is an
crazy
awful coach. He cannot coach in the NHL. And it's proven fact.
He can coach in the. You know why he can coach in junior? Because there's no systems in junior. He's like, guys, you know
I
you're
have better players than you. You're gonna win.
You know your raw talent that you've grown up and learned. Now you just have matching equipment. Go alone, Papa.
Exactly.
Like that's what junior hockey is, and that's why I love it.
Yeah, Patrick Waugh, or you got Claude Julien and Michel Terrier, who are 100% defensive coach. Like, no. We're going to slow this pace down.
Yep.
Let them shoot block shots. Hope for the best. It's like they learned from Jacques Lemaire.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, yeah.
And then you also have the Bond villain Guy Boucher, who...
Where's he right now? He signed with someone, right?
He's in Ottawa, isn't he?
Oh, yeah. And then he brought in Mark Crawford as well.
I think so,
Yeah.
Yeah, and then who's the Wild coach? Was that Boudreaux?
Boudreaux.
And
then who did...
he brought in someone too, I think.
Then who did the Blues bring in?
The Blues brought in Mike
Yeo.
Yeah, to follow up.
We were talking about that last night. It was like, oh yeah, we're going to get Ken Hitchcock. Every Blues fan's like, finally Ken Hitchcock is gone. We're going to have an exciting game. It's like, no. Mike Yeo is taking care. We'll continue the trend of boring fucking hockey.
You know what?
Wow, I'm 2-1 here.
Enjoy Tarasenko for this last year because when Mike Yeo takes over, I'm going to say it, Mikey Y takes over, Tarasenko, 20 goals a year.
Yeah.
If that. If he's lucky.
Yeah, that's
he's like,
just...
no, Tarasenko, you're on the third line and your top line penalty kill. And Tarasenko's like, what? And he's like, yeah, no, you have untapped potential here, man. You don't know what you're talking about. Look at Granlund, as you pointed out last night. Yeah.
And Parise.
Yeah, what the hell?
All those great
Have
players.
fun, Eric Stahl. It's going to be great. It's going to be great.
What do you think of the tire fire that is the Edmonton Oilers? And the Hall deal for Larson.
Oh, that was... Why compare it to the Kessel deal last year? Like, I'm not saying the Leafs got all that much in the return for Kessel. I feel like they probably should have got more for a guy who puts up 35 goals and they held some of his salary. Like, I mean, I thought they didn't get that much, but I mean, it worked out. I guess
look what they have now. Like to just not well, I interrupted you, but look what they got from that trade. Now you got Kasperi Kapanen, Kirby Reichel, Anderson,
Kirby. Oh, because he was for Scott Harrington and.
Whatever. Like I think I was just Harrington for Reichel straight out.
Okay.
Anderson, Kasperi and then you got rid of Bernier's contract too on top of it, which
all of it? They took all of it.
Yeah, Anaheim was just like
they wait. They're like no. We're going to take it after July 1st. So you pay him his $2 million signing bonus.
Oh, that's what it was.
And
okay.
then we'll take on to his contract.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So like when everyone knows you have to trade someone, though, like the Kessel thing last year, everyone's like, you got to trade him. We know you guys want to get rid of him. Like, sure, we'll take him. We'll offer you whatever. And everyone knew that Edmonton had to trade Hall. So as soon as they know they have to trade Hall, you're like...
the power is in their hands.
Yeah, 100%. It's like, well, yeah, we'll offer you Larson. I mean, they had to show... It needed to be culture change, I guess. Mm-hmm. So you get rid of that guy. Not that Hall has been a bad player. He consistently tries hard. But I think now they kind of let everyone know, like, put him on notice. Like, hey, we just traded Hall for a fucking bag of pucks. Like, Eberle, if you don't step it up,
I didn't think about it that way, where it's like, hey, everyone else, you know who the only one safe is? Look at him. Look at Connor stand up. No, I don't want to. Connor stand up. Him. That's it.
That's the only
Connor, put on the Jesus robe. No, put on the Jesus robe.
So, yeah, I mean, I hope they... Like, I hate Edmonton, but I still hope they do well enough that they...
I'm tired of them losing, so they win. It's not fair.
No, I know. Your team is stacked. I mean... They got lucky at the draft, too, I guess. They got that winger, Puviyart. But, I mean, if there's a Finn that doesn't want a Finn, something's up.
What?
Well, like...
yeah.
That's the one thing, like, I just don't, like... A Finn doesn't want a Finn. Like, that's, like... I don't know. There's something there.
You know what's funny is that like all year, like Teemu Selanne and like they were like, oh yeah, the Finns as a group are great. And then when it came to like, oh, can I get a quote? All of them went to Laine. Like, did you hear a Finn say anything about Jesse? Because I didn't.
He was good. I mean, he was hurt in the World Championship. That's what I think hurt him, right? Like he couldn't play in it.
Oh yeah, because he played in the under 18s with like, didn't he have like, what's that kissing disease? Maybe I'm.
Mono?
Maybe not. Maybe not.
Was he kissing?
But I thought he was sick or something like that.
I know he couldn't play in the World Championship. So like that kind of like.
Well, and then Laine, he like scored the first goal and like
looked really good.
Yeah, he also looked very good.
In retrospect to what Stefan was saying about like trades and how once you know a guy's out there, like your return is greatly diminished, and that's one of the things that the Jets did very well with the Evander Kane situation. Is like no one really knew he was available, but everyone suspected, and then just boom, Myers and Stafford for Bogo and Kane.
Stafford, right? I forgot about him.
How's he do? How did he do this year?
I don't know.
He didn't do well.
I don't know. I don't watch enough Jets games. So,
all right. Last question before we move into some other more interesting stuff. Mark Scheifele's deal, because you're the one that first told me. Because I saw it on my phone and I asked you about it, and your face was.
Everyone looks at his points. He had like 29 goals, almost got to 30. And my biggest issue was he put up all his points in garbage time. Garbage time being the time when nothing matters. You're playing for a contract strictly. Like they were, I think when he actually started putting up his points, like they were late in the games when they're already down. It was end of the year when the Jets were well out of the playoffs. It's like okay, well I'm just gonna go out and have fun and shoot some pucks and hopefully they go in. So I mean, good on him that he got paid that much. $6 million for 8 years. I mean, I hope it works out. I hope he maybe be like, oh man, kind of like the Blake Wheeler deal. Like everyone's like, oh man, that's a lot of money for a guy. And then it's like, oh wow, now it's really cheap. It's a good contract.
Yeah, but Blake Wheeler was 5 years, not 8.
8 years. But I mean, that's the one thing with if your own team, right? You can re-sign them to 8 years. It's the only time you can do it. But I mean, $6 million's a lot of money. I would have teetered toward either give me a bridge deal and show me you can do it more than once, and when it matters, or giving him if you want to give 8 years, give him $5 million, 5.5 is my. That would be my
I heard it live, as I told you before, but I heard it live on last week's podcast, and I was like, no, I don't want to hear it until I hear it. And if there was a video on me when Greg said 8 years, I was like, he said the years and then the money, and I was like, 8 years. I was like, whoa.
But he'll be 31. So I mean, in the end, or 30.
Yeah, 31.
30. So it's not 8 years. That kills. Do you want the Stamkos situation?
Takes a bunch of UFA years away from him, really.
Yeah.
So that's the bonus, I guess, right?
And the truth of the matter is, and I said it on last week's podcast, you give him a bridge deal. Let's say he's worth that money. He's earned that money, and now he's a $7.5 million player. I don't have an issue paying him 6 years at 7.5. But if he still turns out to be that player that we all expect him to be, having that extra $1.4 million in the cap for a team hitting their stride at the right time could mean the difference between getting an extra guy into your system via trade. But the other thing too is by the end of his contract, let's say he's a bum, we don't know what the salary cap's going to be like. We don't know if there's going to be another lockout before then.
No.
Because it's the NHL and we always like to lock players out.
Now we know how much how much of it's salary and how much of it's.
I don't actually know.
No, if we have,
yeah. Actually that lockout point. What would we do if it's year 8 of this and it becomes a lockout?
Then
what do we talk about?
Will we go to the next best league?
The CHL.
Yeah. I love how you picked up up and down because I was literally going to make a joke
true.
The Manitoba Moose.
No.
The Laval Canadiens. Or wait, what are they called?
They're going to be the Laval Canadiens.
Montreal's new farm team.
Farm team.
Don't they have Laval Fureur? Like a junior team already?
Yeah, they do.
It doesn't matter. God, give us a junior team. Winnipeg, get a junior team.
It'd be so
I
awesome.
would go to that every time over Moose games. Every time. You know what Moose games has over that? Free towel giveaways once a year. That's it. Great towels.
Yeah, do you get one?
I have 3 of them.
Was it a full size towel?
Full beach
full
towel.
size. Wow.
Full beach towel, not thick, but
it's a beach towel.
It's a
still
fleece.
it's not like one of those rally towels. Like, oh yeah.
No.
It's
Full full.
Okay.
Yeah, I got 2 at the game, and then I went to another game, and they made so many that they gave them out double promo on the way out. They were giving out towels again. It was awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty funny actually. I had that towel. I gave it to someone though.
I'm not giving you my spare one if that's what you're
I
asking.
want that towel. No, I'm totally. But no, like legitimately, I would love to go watch junior hockey. Like,
Yeah, we'll just take that over. Oh, and to answer, we did have a comment. Greg and I talked about it. I took a picture of it, so I'll make sure I credit the person with said picture.
We do thank all comments, questions. And
there was a
concerns.
comment saying, "What are your thoughts on Mark Stewart?" So we'll go around. This was like 2 weeks ago. I forgot to ask. Mark Stewart. My answer: formidable bottom pairing defenseman.
Exactly. That's what I'll say.
Yeah, he's a guy you want in the playoffs. He's one of those guys you're okay. I'm gonna put. He's gonna be gritty. He's gonna do all the dirty shit. But
I'm trying to
better
think.
than Roman Polak.
I'm trying to think of who fell in
He just
you always
fell in love with him.
but each team they already love him. But when that team makes the playoffs, that's a guy that everyone's like, I love him. He's great. Trying to think for Pittsburgh who that guy. Oh, Rust. Doesn't have to be a defenseman. I'm just saying Brian Rust was a guy I knew about him because my love-hate for the Penguins. So I already knew oh great, another chippy guy I hate playing against. Of course he's a Pen. But anyway, so that would be Brian Rust a couple years ago. But all right, here's a comment. So Mr. Ryan Lane commented, "Why do you guys talk about other teams more than the Jets?" Well, first off, great question because our literal write-up's a Winnipeg Jets-based podcast hosted by 3 misinformed friends. Dan's not always here. He's the biggest Jets fan. We already know Greg's a Leafs fan. Steppen's a Leafs fan. I'm a Flyers fan. And the Jets do absolutely nothing every offseason and trade deadline. So they're not that interesting sometimes.
Here's the thing. When a team that you cover, that's your primary team that you talk about, doesn't do anything hockey-wise for 3 months and going on 5 by the time the season starts, it's very tough to talk about a contract for a guy for a centerman that we didn't know how much he was going to make until he made it, a contract for a D-man that probably shouldn't make anywhere near what he's asking, and then talk about the young guys that we've... It just gets repetitive. So the whole point is to keep things fresh and different, and I think that it's a challenge. Obviously we can't please everybody, but...
And there's also other podcasts, I'm not going to name names, but if you live in Winnipeg or you're a Jets fan, you know how hard it is to type in Jets podcast on iTunes. Guess what's going to pop up? Probably a Jets podcast. That's not this one. I'm not trying to say piss off at all.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, we do talk about other stuff.
Yeah.
And the thing is we're all hockey fans at heart, and if we just feel that at the end of the day, there's nothing noteworthy to talk about the Jets, we're not going to bore you guys by saying... So, Mark Stewart last season had 13 points. He didn't actually have 13 points. 13 points. How many do you think he's going to get this year, and why?
11. Because he's a formidable defenseman.
Exactly. It just
the meat and
gets...
potatoes.
Meat and potatoes, lunch pail, go to work, get it done, head down.
So, there's no fun in that for us because it just gets very repetitive, and it's not a lot of fun for you guys listening as well. Plus, and you don't get to hear us yell about Phil Kessel not making Team USA.
Did he get put on after?
I don't know. I'm sure he just probably declined, and he's just oh, well.
Did Bobby Ryan make it?
I think he didn't make it originally, I don't think. That's a contract that I'm sure Ottawa would take back.
Yeah,
it's making 7.5 right now.
He got the money and ran.
Yeah. And, speaking of contracts that were signed today, Victor Rask of the Carolina Hurricanes was signed for $4 million, I think.
4 years?
Yeah.
Good deal.
Is it 4?
Yeah, I believe it's 4.
We got the technology.
Interesting deal because his career high in points isn't super high. He had a decent season last year, and I think that's what they're basing it on. But
they just also got rid of their cornerstone, or their franchise, the whole franchise, Eric Stahl, last trade deadline. Yeah. Mm-hmm. What did they get for him?
I think a first, at least.
Not nearly as much. They wouldn't have got a first round.
No.
It's the Rangers.
I don't think
They're
the Rangers
insane.
have a first round pick.
They don't have a first round pick until 2040.
They haven't had a first round pick in a long.
They're hey, Washington, we want Yager, so we're going to give you our first round pick in 2020. Here you go. What do you think? Washington's okay, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
Hey,
that'll pay off eventually.
Speaking of Washington, just long distance shot, I'm going to call it. I was thinking about it today. Who's a guy who hasn't had a job, but did a pretty damn good job when he was there, specifically as a GM.
George McPhee.
George
Boom.
McPhee, yeah, he's going to be in Las Vegas.
Oh, is that the rumor?
Yeah.
Because I read an article and I'm like, great points. I'm taking this as my own thoughts now because this is the internet.
Yeah. He's going to be the
Are they
most
like,
likely.
Okay.
They're announcing it tomorrow. There's a press conference.
Okay, there's a bigger announcement on Tuesday. If you guys aren't watching, SmackDown and Raw are doing the draft.
Oh,
Today's Tuesday.
No, next Tuesday.
Oh, next Tuesday.
Yeah. You should go all tune in.
Now,
they need the views. For
another
sure.
another person who was with Washington did a very formidable job this season. Mike Richards.
Oh.
Now he had only had a 1-year deal. Did he do enough to kind of bring his career back and put himself back into the NHL where teams are going to explore that option of re-signing? Like,
it's like a 1 year, $1 million?
Exactly.
Yeah, why not?
Do you think that he could? I would be shocked if he doesn't re-sign in Washington because I think he enjoyed it there. I think he fit well with the team there. But do you think Winnipeg or Toronto or Philadelphia would think about it?
That bitch. Oops, sorry. I meant to say that bridge. That bridge has been burned in Philly. He's not.
Oh yeah, sorry, I totally forgot.
He's not just as a
because you have a Mike Richards
pride
jersey.
thing. No, I had.
Oh.
As a pride thing, I don't think if I were Richards, I would ever go back to Philly. He loves it there, or he's loved it there. I don't know if he still does, but as a pride thing, if I got traded due to my off ice issues, and the way they did it was our 2 best players caught in a scandal, goodbye. In an hour. I'll never forget that day. I was on the way to a CFL Winnipeg Blue Bombers game. Get a phone call from my dad saying, haha, I guess you can't wear any of half of your jerseys anymore because I had 2 Richards jerseys, 2 Carter jerseys. Let me tell you what happened. My dad calls me, he's like, Mike Richards got traded. I'm like, ha, you so funny, Dad. And he's like, no, literally, he got traded for Wayne Simmons and Braden Chen. I was like, fuck! And I hung up. I'm walking into the stadium about 40 minutes later, my dad's like, hey, another trade to announce. I was like, you're so funny again. Ruined my day again. And he's like, no, seriously, Jeff Carter got traded for a pick. And I'm like, and Jakub Voracek. And I was like, damn it! In a span of an hour, Cameron lost $500 in jerseys. In an hour!
And then you spent another $300 on getting a Jakub Voracek and a Wayne Simmons jersey.
Jakub Voracek, Wayne Simmons, Giroux, and I have a Couturier, but it was a gift. Yeah, I literally made a rule. I have to say, I think I've said it before. I'm never buying jerseys again, and if I do, no, I'm not. I'm wearing t-shirts from here on out.
It's gotta be.
I can't.
Ivan Provorov.
There's a lot of guys I want jerseys of.
Wayne Simmons is a good jersey to have. I don't think he'll get.
Unless
it's at the end of his contract.
Voracek, I got Voracek because I wasn't sure. I didn't want to get 53 Ghost. I love Voracek, but I didn't want to get Ghost right off the hop because I think he might still change his number because it's officially his first year, and the Flyers they're one of those weird teams where they're like, oh no. Unless you make opening day roster, you don't get to pick your number. Because I remember a couple years ago, which guy? There was a guy going up and down. He wore 3 or 4 different jersey numbers that year. Yeah, it was bad. But nonetheless, if Ghost would have picked his original number, a number, it would have been a Ghost pair.
What was his number
in college? It was 14. He can't wear 14 because but Coots couldn't wear his original number, which is 7, because it's retired Bill Barber. So
okay,
yeah. Fun facts with Cam about the Flyers. Anyways, I have too many jerseys. Trades are insane. Richards. Who else?
I think Richards will have to go to camp and hope to get a contract.
On a PTO?
Yeah, I think it'll have to be a PTO.
Who was on a PTO? Stempniak.
And then got a 2-year deal with Carolina.
He did, yeah.
And probably get traded at the trade deadline.
I don't know if he will.
I hope not.
I think
maybe
next year. Maybe next year. Not too many guys go on 2-year contracts get traded, right? I mean,
Daniel Winnick.
Yeah, except I would be so mad if I was Daniel Winnick. Be like, okay, guys, I'll give you another chance. 2 years, you can't trade me now, right? Just kidding, Dan.
but now he's in Washington for another year, though. That's not the worst thing.
No, it's not, but...
But his wife can't be on Hockey Wives anymore, which must be disappointing.
Mike Richards?
No, Daniel Winnick's wife.
Oh, okay. I can't say I've watched it.
I've never watched the show.
I watched it once. My sisters were watching it, and I walked in. And this girl's like crying. She's like, oh my god, Brandon got traded. It was Brandon Prust's wife. It was like, oh my god, your life is so hard. You have to sit home. And he makes millions of dollars and you just do nothing. Your job is to do nothing at all.
Your job is to look beautiful and be beautiful.
I have to meet new people. Well, fuck you. Like, I'm sorry, you do nothing. He does all the work. He just, swipe the credit card. I can do that too. Brandon, give me a call.
The one lady audience we had going.
Yeah, no, officially. Another thing is women. I'm just saying, like, what do you I get? Oh man, my friends are there. Like, well, whatever. Like,
like it isn't a hop, skip, and a jump to take an airplane there. Yeah. And guess what? You got the Skrilla to be first class, so you get there way faster, and you can pay for that direct flight.
Yeah,
exactly. 2 hours. You're there anywhere in North America, I bet. Yeah. 6 if you're going to Vegas somehow. I don't know.
Speaking of Vegas, long shot. Radulov on that team next year.
It just gets super.
Are we just like doing all year? We have to long shot. The word long shot now means Vegas. Yeah, for sure. I want a long shot. No, I don't. I have nothing in my head.
Roberto Luongo.
Oh yeah, long shot. Matt Reed. Matt Reed from the Flyers. Appreciate it. Don't take Gudis. We need him. We need the Gouda.
What is it? Who are they going to protect? Who are the Flyers going to protect?
Well, Giroux, Voracek, Simmons. Schen's new contract, they have to. Sorry, Schen's new incoming contract, I'm calling it 4.5.
It's too bad that Holmgren didn't take advantage of him like he did Couturier last year.
Oh, well, and Couturier couldn't have just waited just a little bit.
Yeah.
What's Couturier's deal?
Like 4,
no,
just under 4?
I think he's
over 4,
is he?
Let's pull it up. We have the internet. Yeah. We can do this.
For how long?
Like 5. I should know this. I don't know. It kicks in this year. And actually...
That's a good deal.
So does... Someone's new contract kicks in. Is Voracek... No.
Subban's kicks in.
Wait, Voracek's already in. Couturier... 2 contracts kick in this year that bring the Flyers way up. All right, let's do this.
Voracek, Giroux...
Couturier's 4.3 for...
10 years? No,
22, that's 6 years.
I think he's
only
23 years old, though.
He's Mark Scheifele's draft year.
Yeah, he's Mark Scheifele's. He just came in a year before, and they're like, big offensive dynamo, and they're like, yeah, but we already have Giroux, so you can just take the back seat. And he's like, no, but I can do it. No, you're going to play defense now. It turned out
good two-way
He's a really good defense.
He shut down.
That series against Washington would have been a lot different if he was in it.
Yeah, but my favorite claim to fame for Coots is rookie year or second year, that series with the Flyers and Pens, where he shut down Malkin, no points, Malkin, Evgeny Malkin, no points, and he got a hattie in the same game. I loved it. I was losing my mind.
Are they going to have to protect Andrew McDonald?
Oh, yeah! Hey, screw you, he's a great player. I have to say it, there's a gun to my head. I'm scared.
At least Mark Streit comes off the books. He's
getting traded at deadline for what? A 6th rounder. Bag of puck.
Conditional pick.
No conditional. They'll take.
They don't have much on. Luckily, I think a lot of those guys come off the books. I guess other than Andrew McDonald, who's just got 4 more years at $5 million.
Oh, that's a bad deal.
See, no. What's bad about that is when they signed that. It was right around the season that everyone, like, Doughty was signing and Suter, not Suter, Doughty. And, it was if they would have waited, a week, they could have easily been Andrew McDonald, yeah, Drew Doughty got 8, so you're going to get 3 at the most. You can fuck yourself.
Well, but he was highly touted out of the Islanders.
No, he wasn't. He was the top pairing with Mark Streit because they had no one else. And
he was playing with Hamonic. He was playing with Hamonic, and everyone's like, man, he's making no money, and he was doing all right points wise, but coming to advanced stats, they look into him and it's like, this guy gets hemmed in his own zone. It's awful. He cannot play offense.
Mark Streit and McDonald, when they both officially made the Islanders went from shots for shots. One of the big defensive categories, they went from 18th the following year to 22nd. They went to 25th and then 29th. Consecutively, they got worse. Yeah.
2 of the worst teams, I think, this year in PDO, which is your team save percentage plus the shot percentage, was Carolina and Toronto, which makes sense because they were 2.
Wait, what's teams. PDO?
PDO is shots.
What does it stand for?
Shot percentage. I don't know what it exactly stands for.
Greg, it's Infoland. You have to know this.
What's the website? What's the best website for it?
I just type in hockey or just type in hockey advanced stats because the NHL website is shit.
Well, actually, pull up on Wikipedia. Just type in hockey analytics, and they have a explanation of what each one is, and then we can actually break it down. But PDO is what?
Save percentage. So your team's save percentage plus like shot percentage.
Okay. So that means the higher it is, the better team you are. Oh, so a team
what I'm
like
pretty sure is what it is. Yeah.
So a team like Pittsburgh
has a higher
one because they score so much and because their goalies stop pucks for the most part. So you basically have to have a happy medium of lots of shots and a goalie that stops pucks.
Not lots
so
of shots,
Montreal,
just
wouldn't they be good
shots.
in this category?
Well, that's where it's not a perfect stat because of the fact that you can have those inflations of like a really strong goalie, but it does reflect in the sense that Montreal doesn't score a ton of goals because they take a high percentage of shots, right? So if you're taking 30 shots a game, you're only scoring 1 goal. It's a lot different than when you're taking 20 shots a game and you're scoring 3 goals. Because your percentage, it fluctuates that way.
PDO?
Yeah.
PDO. PDO equals shooting percentage plus save percentage while on the ice.
Yeah.
As opposed to not
But
on the ice.
Yeah. And then, so that, like, PDO is one of those stats that's imperfect, but at the same time, it does kind of give you a very relative look at teams. Like, if you look and pull off probably the top 10 teams in PDO last season, I'm going to say 8 of the 10 were in playoffs.
Now, in regards to, so there's PDO. Okay, wait, right off the hop. The first ones that ever came out was Corsi. Fenwick. What's Corsi?
Corsi is like possession numbers.
Yeah, I think
like
it's
while you're in the opponent's zone.
What do you mean, like the time you have the puck on your stick? So it's timed amount.
Well, Corsi, it's like it's the shots for and shots against while on the ice.
As individually.
Individually, yeah.
So my Corsi rating, because I never shoot, but they always shoot on and hit, I would be bad.
Yeah, like
so in this aspect, Shea Weber is bad.
He is bad.
But that's because he's a. But see, then that's where it gets swayed too, because if you're a top pairing or like a top line guy, your Corsi's probably not amazing because you're always on the ice, so those shots are always going to count.
But not necessarily. It's all about
because
how
your
good
possession could be better, which would be your PDO.
No, well,
that'd be your puck possession.
Puck possession is.
It has nothing to do with possession. It's all about generating shots.
Yes.
So like the more you generate more shots while you're on the ice, as opposed to like if you like ideally, I think the minimum or the best number you want to be is 50. I think is the Corsi. So like 50%, like you're on
1-1 ratio.
Exactly, and like in the middle, or you're I think it's 2-1 actually.
So then, say if you're a super offensive guy, like say back in the day, like Sergei Samsonov never played defense, he would have an amazing Corsi.
Technically, no, because he could be if he's shitty defensively. If you're getting shots against, right?
Wow, so that's a really tough one to gauge.
So and the thing is like once again, you take a look at the top 16 teams last year. 12 of the top 16 teams in Corsi last year were playoff teams. So, the correlation between advanced stats and the way the NHL actually is, there is a very direct correlation. That's why the NHL is moving that way, and that's why you're seeing teams actually hire analytics departments and, these guys to control this because it's becoming such a big part of the game. Because you look at some of the top Corsi players in the league, and they're very dominant players in their positions. Guys like Jeff Carter and Drew Doughty, the guys that generate lots of shots while they're on the ice, and as well as suppress shots when they're on the other end of the ice. And that's basically the name of the game, but we never looked at it that way before. We looked at it as how goals are generated.
And so what's Fenwick then? Because Corsi is goals for, goals against individually.
Not goals against, it's shots.
Oh no, shots for, shots against. Then you want to be at 50.
Fenwick is including missed shots. So Corsi doesn't include shots that don't hit the net.
Oh, you have to hit the goalie.
Yeah, they have to be shot.
Oh,
whereas Fenwick includes block shots, missed shots.
Like if I block a shot?
Yeah, it would be still a shot attempt.
Fenwick is
a shot attempt.
Fenwick is just all encompassing. Corsi's the pinpoint.
Yeah, it'd be like what hit the net, what didn't hit the net.
So Ovechkin would have an incredible Fenwick because he takes so many shots.
In theory, I don't know how it.
But he never blocks.
So
okay.
Yeah. So I mean, they're included in that, right? So if it's shot attempts, basically.
Okay.
So shot attempts for, shot attempts against. So, like, shot attempt could be you missing the net. It could be him blocking it. It could be tipped out of the way. Like, those count as shot attempts for.
But either
it's the
way,
same
you're-
thing
Good
goes
shots
against
and bad shots
you're-
too, right? Like,
okay.
so like when you just enter the zone and you wire that slap shot, sure, it's an open shot, but the percentage of it going in isn't very high. There's also the bad shots where you're shooting through 4 people, that shot's just never going to get through. And then there's the good shots where you're the guy in the slot, no one in front of you, and you shoot and you score, right? And then they value that as well, right? Good shots versus bad shots, and they actually have stats that track guys that take good shots versus bad shots, because sometimes you have guys that have decent Corsi, but they're taking shitty shots just to get pucks on the net. And normally when you see a lot of guys that have bad shot qualities, are guys who are down in a lot of games and pushing for those shots on net just to throw something at the net, right?
Okay, all right. So then, okay, I'm seeing these like breakdowns like 5v5, so like 5 on 5.
5
Yeah,
on 5.
so-
Which is basically the biggest thing that they talk about, right? Like, because normally Corsi, when you're 4 on 5 or 5 on 4, it's not as big of a stat, because normally those are regular things because you're on power plays, and the point is to get more shots. You know, if you can suppress shots on 4 on 5, like if you're a good 4 on 5 player, like everybody's going to want you on your penalty kill. Like nobody's not going to say that you don't belong there. Yeah, I don't know where to take it from here. But
A good, if you really want to learn a lot about it, Bob McKenzie's book.
Hockey Confidential.
Hockey Confidential, he has an entire chapter on it. Although, like, I think partially in the chapter he's trying to sell you on advanced stats, but he does go into detail of, like, how it came about, and kind of what all of them, like, the basics, like Corsi and Fenwick mean and stuff like that. They're on there.
Oh, and then another one's big for the younger guys, at least. Like I talked about it briefly, but Johnny Gaudreau and like Nick Ehlers, like the good puck handling guys, they're big on advanced stats for zone entries and exits. I noticed they're huge on that. Just percentage wise, like.
Well, there's like, hey, there's also the advanced stats on like where guys are taking certain faceoffs, right? So one of the big knocks with the Toronto, I'm going to bring this back to Toronto, in 2013, they had Mikhail Grabowski, who was this guy they signed for $5.5 million, right?
I think so.
Yeah. And supposed to be an offensive guy. He was taking something like 60% of his faceoffs in the defensive zone. And that's just not, if you want a guy to produce offensively, that's not where you're putting him.
And where does that affect? What does that
Okay, to relate this to Philadelphia, if they're in the offensive zone, more or less likely they're going to want Claude Giroux to take that faceoff.
Oh,
if
yeah.
they're in the defensive side, they're going to get Couturier.
Every time.
So that's kind of what it gauges.
Oh,
is
so
where
he gets
these guys
sheltered.
are.
So it shows like how hard his minutes are.
So that'll be affected, like his Corsi will be affected because it'll be defensive zone starts. Mm-hmm. So like how often are you starting in your defensive zone? Like, so some guys' Corsi's like, yeah, your Corsi is better, but you're starting 70% of your shifts in the offensive zone.
Exactly.
Well, that must be nice. Like, I mean, you're not starting, you have to break out. You're already in there. If you want to face off, you get a cycle going, and your Corsi or Fenwick is going to be better. So they also take that into consideration of where you're starting your shift.
Oh, okay. So
there's a lot of like there's not like one really like this is the stat. It's like
no,
a
but that's like
mixture.
baseball too, like sabermetrics. But that's what that's what this is, like the NHL with hockey analytics, because it's so new.
Yeah.
Like it first started off with just like, oh, look at Corsi and Fenwick, and now it's like PDO, 5 on 5, zone entries, possession, and like where do your face-offs start? Do you take bad shots?
Yeah.
And like to one of my favorite movies is Moneyball, which obviously incorporates sabermetrics, and one of my favorite lines in that movie is when they're kind of explaining it to this old brass of people what they're trying to do, and like, why are we getting this guy? Because he gets on base, and there's no on-base stat for the NHL. Like, the best thing you could say would be your Corsi relative 60, which is like your Corsi in relative to the 60 minutes you play, not per game. So
yeah, what's Corsi relative?
So Corsi 60, it works is, so every player, let's say your average player, you're forward, you play 18 minutes. So you have a Corsi for 18 minutes, your Corsi relative for 18 minutes. But then they take, okay, so if you play 60 minutes of in-game time, what's your Corsi in 60 minutes of in-game time? Not stretched over the game, but 60 minutes.
So they correlate that to 60 and then give you a rating of it?
It's like one of the highest guys for points per 60 this year was Patrick Kane, who had 3.6 points per 60 minutes. of ice time that he played this year.
So
Oh.
they extrapolate how many minutes he plays in a game to 60 minutes.
Oh.
And
Wow.
they're able to look at that, and that's another way that you look at value. But it's a very messy stat in the sense that you have guys that playing 10-minute role player games, but their Corsi's high because they're playing these sometimes hard minutes, sometimes easy minutes. It's a messy stat, and a lot of people don't like the per 60, but it's there, and it's something that they can obviously use and talk about.
Is there any other advanced stats we haven't touched?
There's a ton. There's a
lot.
Well, the main ones that we hear.
I think Fenwick, Corsi are the big ones. Shooting percentage, the one for goalies is always save percentage. When they usually go 5-on-5 save percentage and penalty kill save percentage. I'm pretty sure Steve Mason has one of the best 5-on-5 save percentages of all goalies. Ironically, and I mean, you never think Steve Mason.
Well, I think he's a great goalie because I know his stats when he plays.
Yeah,
not terrible.
No, he does really well, and they show that he's a good goalie.
But it just happens that the Flyers take so many penalties.
Exactly. So then his goals against gets inflated because they're scoring so many goals shorthanded, but his save percentage 5-on-5 is I think it's 920 something, which is that's a really good save percentage, but obviously it drops down because it's 900 when they're. Yeah. Which isn't a terrible save percentage on the PK either. So.
No, but if that's in retrospect, now when you're building a team, you're going to be, okay, we need guys that don't take penalties. Yeah. And then look, Mason will do better. We're going to be a better team. Yeah. Because we know these guys can score if they have the puck as well.
Yeah. The most basic advanced stats are available right now on NHL.com. And that's stuff like points per 60. You have your, I don't know, I believe Corsi's on there, but I don't know for sure. They have penalties per 60, and that's those are things that I think teams do look at a little bit more now to build a team around. You don't have these big bruising guys all the time. They're going to take a ton of minutes. And going to hurt your team with penalties. That's just not something that happens in the new NHL. And obviously, it's going to be interesting. This year, we're going to probably see a huge change in stats like PDO, along with just, I guess, goaltender save percentage because of the pads changing. I'm really interested to see.
Wait, the pads are changing this year for sure?
Are they?
I thought that's what the deal was they're diminishing the sizes that they could all be. And whether that's going to increase scoring or not, I'm not sure, but something has to be done.
I read actually a pretty interesting, I read the Players Tribune.
Okay, yeah.
So Adam Oates wrote an article, and I never really thought of it this way. He's you know what, making the nets bigger or making the rinks bigger or making goalie equipment smaller isn't the answer to getting more goals. It's developing kids' skill. He's look, all these guys grow up playing dump and chase hockey. Whereas when I was, even when I was in the coach in Washington, I was look, I'm not going to coach Ovi. I'm not going to tell him to dump the puck. Ovi does what Ovi does. He generates goals. Let him do his thing, and Nick Backstrom does the same thing. Let them play this. Teach kids the skill game. I mean, that's what he said. Growing up, his dad made him a 4-hour highlight tape of Wayne Gretzky to just watch. He's watch this, learn how he does it, and then you will be in the NHL. And he did. He's okay, so I learned how to pass the puck because I'm not going to shoot. I'm Adam Oates. He's yeah. So I just learned I developed my skill as opposed to just every kid now plays in a system, right? It's you're gonna play.
Yeah, no, that's very, very true.
3-1-3 or whatever it is, 3-1-1. It's now you don't learn how to play. Okay, we'll just have fun. Dangle. The reason Patrick Kane is so good is because his hands are retarded. He plays a skill game, and he scores tons of goals. He has no issue scoring goals, obviously, right? Whereas now people are just big bodies who can skate fast but have no hands, and that's what it is.
And we talked about it about a decade ago, I guess. Finland, what hockey mecca now.
Yeah.
10 years ago, they redid their whole program because they noticed all these kids are just they were teaching these kids systems at 6 years old, and they were God, our junior teams, they all suck, and all our developmental programs, we all got mopped because they're just. And then they just brought it down to they're just just go and play. And they concentrated on skill more than systems, dump and chase. Yeah. Now look how good even just Canada does it too, but we're a little more systematic. But just Finland was they didn't emphasize systems. They just said go play. Go play. If there's an issue, we'll teach you how to do it. Look how good they are now.
Now, I learned a lot of this stuff from coaching this year, and this is something that's being changed with Hockey Canada, and it's being developed from USA Hockey, is they're trying to get younger, like, I don't know if you probably remember, when we played 5-6 hockey, it was like half rinks, big nets. Well, now they've taken the net size, lowered it down, because the goal isn't to score. The goal is to create that skill development, to get the kids skating with the puck, learning. So what they do now is, when Stefan and I played, at least this is how I remember it, is they divided the ice in half for the most part.
Yeah.
And you played half ice games across the ice. Now they have 3 games going on the same ice, or they separate the ice in 3s.
By the Blues?
So by the Blues, they have 1 game going on these mini nets, on like a 3-on-3 game. So you get more skating, you get more time with the puck. Then they have these little stations in the middle where you're doing skill development, where you're skating more, moving the puck around, because it's more about developing these skills at a younger age than anything else. One of the things that Finland's done, and Sweden's done it, I don't think USA is there yet, but their most skilled, longest lasting, longest tenure coaches are now coaching these 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old groups, because that's where the skill comes in. And if you can get that skill young and you can develop that skill, fuck systems. They don't need it, because they're that skilled. That's what Patrick Laine is growing up with. He's had a guy that was was training with the Olympic team, or working with the Olympic team, and that's what he had at 7 years old. For example, I don't know if that's actually true, but that's something that they now develop.
Even if it wasn't that exact coach, it's a high level coach. Well, could be doing that, and they're paying him to be no, teach these kids how to play the game.
Now it sounds bad, obviously, because you have a guy like Brent Sutter who coached probably some of the best World Junior Hockey Championship teams to golds. But if he went and he was coaching 7-year-olds and saying, this is how we develop your skill, those 7-year-olds are going to take way more away from that than saying 19-year-olds who are being put in systems. And I think one of the worst things we've seen over hockey in the last 20 years is the development of systems everywhere. And you said it earlier on this podcast, the great thing about the CHL is you have all these guys that have been the best players on their team, and all you do is you say, go play, go have fun. And a team like Colorado, if we're in a broken league where systems weren't a thing, would probably be pretty good, because they have no...
they have no system.
System.
Patrick they're go play. Varley's got you back there. We'll hope for the best.
I'll at your boy. And you know what? Before Varley, they got the Johnsonator. Eric, hold it down back there.
Yeah, you guys hold it back.
With potentially Kevin Shattenkirk.
Yeah. You think he's going to go back there?
Okay, well...
They already traded him away.
Here's my theory: is
for a bag of pucks.
That is a bag of pucks.
That was it.
Yeah. Okay, they're set at center. If you take out Duchesne, because they have McKinnon, they have.
I think they're going to trade Duchesne for Shattenkirk.
If you're St. Louis, you're not going for Soderberg or over Duchesne.
And here's the other thing,
okay, I don't think as a team with. So I don't interrupt you, but as Colorado, you're okay, we're going to trade for Shattenkirk, who has 1 year left in his deal.
Who we're going to resign. That's going to be a stipulation on the deal.
Yeah,
right?
I guess you have to be.
Deal
Yeah.
And obviously that might not happen, but all I'm saying is, if there's a team that addresses a need that St. Louis has, and can also address a need, because St. Louis just lost David Backes. Obviously, if Carl Soderberg was a bit better, they'd probably take Carl Soderberg, but because he had kind of a very weak year last year, I think.
He was pretty good, actually, last
year.
Was he? He was really good last
year. Well, then
year.
Carl Soderberg for Kevin Shattenkirk.
He was really good last year. I thought he was going to be a bust.
Because
I saw that contract, and honestly, I knew he played for Boston, but I'm like, the hell is this guy?
I thought he was going to be
bank
trash. And I was like, you kidding me, paying this guy that much money for a guy who's not put up 30 points? And I was like, oh wow, he did really he put up 51 points last year.
Yeah, no, I'm wrong. That was right around Nathan McKinnon number 2. But they just picked up Joe Colburn. They have Mikhail Grigorenko. Then you have Soderberg, McKinnon, and Duchesne. You got to do something there. I know
they got Joe Colburn.
Yeah, they picked up Joe
2
Colburn.
years.
Nice.
So, and that's what I'm saying. That's now you have an excess at center where you can dump a guy who's very good. All 3 of those guys. I guess now Carl Soderberg's very good, but he's good. He's formidable.
He's good.
He's established. He's an established player
Yeah.
that maybe you put on St. Louis or. Duchesne for that matter, who's played in the NHL for a while and can help them out at center because they just lost David Backes. But
that's
my
David Backes signing.
I think it's a Boston signing. Like to a T. It's like we lost Lucic. We need some sort of Lucic back. And he's not a bad player. He's getting older. Again, next couple of years he'll be all right. Was it we have 5 years or something?
5 years, 6 mil.
6 mil, yeah.
And he's how old now? Like he's gonna be 30,
31.
31 somewhere. And like I'm just like, that's the same thing. Like his style of play is not gonna last that much. But I mean that's what they had to offer, right? To get a guy like him.
I wonder who else offered though. For sure the Blues, but I think he just wanted to change.
Yeah, he's 32 years old, and he's gonna get $6 million for the next
32.
5
okay.
years.
Yeah.
So like, it's like I don't know. I haven't listened to your last podcast, but like, it's like the Andrew Ladd signing. My God. My God.
There it is. All right.
Oh my God.
Let us have it.
That was awful. What are they thinking? Like
6 years, 5.5.
6 years, 5.5 for a guy who's 32 years old.
No,
Dan,
7 years, 5.5, right?
It's a lot. I'm
no,
pretty sure
and
it's 7 years.
Dan was like, why wouldn't you spend the extra mil to get Oposo, you idiots?
Yeah,
What's wrong with you?
You get a way younger player he loved being there. Like I read on the player streaming, he's like he loved it in New York. He absolutely loved everything about it. He grew up there. It's like, oh, but now like you don't give me $1 million. You don't give me $1 million extra dollars. You're gonna give it to fucking what's his name, Andrew Ladd, and
Mr. Ladd.
Didn't they sign some other goof?
The price of another goof. The price of winning 2 championships. There you go.
Yeah.
You can't. Ladd's got 2 cups.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
That's what
2
it is.
cups.
That's
Kiss
what it is.
my ass. Oh, it was real tough winning that cup in Carolina when I was 20 years old playing 4th line minutes. I had to win with Bufflin,
Keith, Seabrook, Taves, Kane, Hossa, Sharp.
When Yemi was still good, like, oh man, what a hard team to win with.
My line was,
my
line was John Madden and Chris Versteeg.
Yeah,
that was like the 3rd and 4th
oh
line.
my God. I won 2 cups, I'm really established. I've been there.
Their 4th line had like Adam Burish and Troy Brower on it. Like,
okay, you know what I've noticed
guys.
with like in the last like maybe it's been around forever, but since I've been watching sports like obviously my whole life, but like now that I'm getting older, there's certain lines that come around that I'm like I just roll the eyes, get like a gross taste in my mouth. Watching Portugal, like Cristiano Ronaldo lift the Euro Cup, they're like against all odds, and I'm like, "Fuck you! Are you serious?" They were one of like the heavy, like they were in the top 5 favorited teams to win the damn thing. What do you mean against all odds? They played the fucking hosts who had the best odds. You can't use that line. You're not allowed. You're Shanahan. The moment the Final Four were made, the only team that was allowed to say that was Wales.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
it.
Yeah.
If Wales made it against all odds, that's it. You fucked yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And it's like, oh, they had to overcome so much. It's like the Hawks the first year they went.
Yeah.
Didn't they sweep the Sharks in the Western Conference Final?
I'm pretty sure they annihilated.
Yeah, like
they
it
were
wasn't
not
even like it was absolute annihilation.
Yeah.
And then they just who'd they beat the first? Oh yeah,
Like 2 years ago.
No, yeah, no, the Flyers though.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh wow, like here, let's shit on Flyers for a second. Ooh, Michael Layton. Oh shit. Oh
They said like
shit.
4 different goals.
Brian Boucher.
Brian Boucher, Michael Layton. Who else?
Ray Emery.
Ray Emery, the Ray of Sunshine.
Yeah.
And God, there was one more in
goalie
there.
to play.
Yeah, like they had like 6 goalies that year.
They just shuffle dudes. Like literally, the coach is like, and spin the wheel.
No,
You're
and then he
today.
made it. It's like, oh, Emery, you're injured. No shit.
Yeah.
Next guy, come on in.
Yeah.
Like spinning the
So
wheel.
tough.
Yeah.
tough.
So it's like, really, come on, God.
Yeah.
The best thing to come out of that series was the Bufflin versus Pronger, like just entire time.
Yeah. Or the
It
most.
was the last really mean series. Like that and the Vancouver series were the last mean series we've had. Because the next year we had New Jersey versus LA, which was so uneventful.
Yeah, that was brutal. Or
How New Jersey got there with
Analytics.
Yeah. That's a statistical anomaly then.
Somehow Martin Brodeur just got them there.
Yeah.
Adam Henrique scoring like last seconds against the Rangers to get him there.
I remember that. I remember exactly where I was when Henrique scored that. We had played a hockey game. We were just walking into Boston Pizza. Everyone was watching the Jumbotron, but there was a TV right to the left of me. And I just see like, yeah! All I heard it, and then Henrique jump on the boards because they were in New York when he did it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
And
did the Devils just make the Cup final? Why? Why? And I only chose the Devils because I'm never picking the Kings, ever.
No.
Ever. Not a fan.
No.
You already know this. Everyone knows this.
The worst part is, like, you hate them, but you're like, I kind of like some of the guys on the team.
There's
Foley,
there's a
Pearson.
few guys there's a few guys I like watching on the team, but like as a whole, just something about them I really don't like. I'm Drew Doughty, amazingly talented player, not a fan at all.
Yeah.
And Jonathan Quick, what are you, the white M&M? Well, no, the white M&M. What are you, the M&M of the NHL? Like every time I see him, he's got his big hood up, flat
He
brim.
is
I sound like an
so
old guy,
good.
like get
Who's
the
this?
sport out of, get the hoodlums out of the game. That's what I sound like right now. But no, he's crazy.
His lateral movement, like no one can even touch him. He is so quick. Like his
He does the
legs must
splits
be
like 7 to 10 times a game.
It's crazy. Like he like lays on the ice. His game is moving, and then he gets up. Like his legs must be just fucking tree trunks because the way he quickly slides across. Like I don't even know how he does it. He's not that big. He's only like maybe 6 feet, maybe a bit more than that. But like to do it like that, he's just astronomical. The things he does in net, and you're like, okay, yeah.
His numbers are going to be like the most non-reflective of the equipment change because he's just that good. He's that athletic. Like legitimately, I can't remember who said it, but they're like, all you're saying is, okay, we don't want big goalies, we want athletic goalies. That's fine. There's plenty of those in the league.
Yeah,
like,
tons of those guys. Not gonna be an issue.
okay, you're not going to be successful with Ben Bishop. Well, Andrei Vasilevsky and Christos Guzlevskis are both athletic goalies.
Yep.
They both can get across, whether or not.
Okay, you had mentioned signings.
Yes.
Who were the two signings?
The first one we met,
Oh,
Rask, and Shane Doan.
Right, I did not know he was in the league for 21 years.
He was the last. He's the last Jet.
Last
He's the last
Jet?
original Jet.
Well, yeah, because there's Danny
Not last
Brie-
draft. Danny Ribriere was the last.
Sorry, you're
first
right.
round pick, but
Yeah.
Shane Doan was the last.
He's the
active
last playing active Winnipeg Jet.
Winnipeg '90s Jet.
Yeah, because it was Aaron Ward, like Danny B, and then Shane Doan. Wow, 1 year, $5 million. Yeah, he's a
I
captain.
think most of it's like
Yeah.
most of it's in bonuses. So like if he attains certain like
Did you
most
s-
of it's I'm sure games
did
played
you
like
see-
really attainable bonuses.
Did you see the insane bonuses on Yager's contract? Can you pull that up if you can?
Oh, it's like games
Oh,
played.
it's
like,
amazing. Like he plays 10 games, it's like 100 grand. 20 games, 300 grand. Like
We
it's
know
just
he's
like
gonna play them.
well, yeah, near the end, like the higher ones. Like what did the Flyers? I called it too. Well, maybe I didn't call it in the podcast, but I mentioned Wayne Simmons had a stipulation in his contract. If he played every game, he got an extra like I want to say $250,000 to $400,000. Like it's a big number, and they sat him the last game of the year.
Just so
I'm
they
sure he
get-
was injured too, but they sat him, and I was like, "Ooh, that's cheeky, guys. Come on."
I think
But
that
they
happened to a pitcher in the MLB. What's his name? He's a Twins pitcher, Phil Hughes.
Oh, Phil Hughes.
Phil Hughes had
Yes.
like a couple $1 million bonus if he got like enough innings.
Oh, I heard about this. And then wasn't there one of his second last games? It was like a rain delay, and then they were like, "Oh, you're like 2 innings away," and they just like,
didn't
"No,
play
you're not
him.
playing."
They just didn't
Ah,
play him. Like,
dicks.
yes, it was like the easiest, like he's been nothing but good to them.
Yeah.
I'm like, sorry, Phil, not playing today.
Sorry,
Yeah.
you might want to cancel that Renault on the backyard.
Yeah, that
just
pool's not getting put in.
We just got knocked out of the wild card spot. from Toronto Blue Jays. Wasn't Blue Jays actually, but just got knocked out of the wild card spot. So you're gonna have to take a seat there. We're gonna let a kid pitch.
He lost $500,000.
Oh, okay,
Oh.
that's still an awful.
Either way,
That's
what
a
was
pool.
the rule? What was it?
1/3 of an inning. Out. He was 1 out.
That's like even if you're having a bad matchup against a guy that's 9
You just need to pop it up. You just
a third of an inning.
Yeah.
We can do that. Like
He
we
needed,
can do that.
He needed to get 210 innings pitched, and he was at 209 and 2/3.
No!
Yeah.
When was this?
This was in 2014.
Ah, you cheeky bastards.
Oh yeah, they were really bad.
No way. Oh, jeez. Oh, my goodness.
And then he's like, even the like they had a couple more games left in the year. It was his last start, and it was a rain delay, so he missed it. And then like they went to the manager like, "Are you gonna like can you just use him for like an inning? Like get him 1 out, get him that like 500K?" Like, nope, not gonna use him out of the bullpen. He's pretty tired.
You.
Oh.
Oh, and then there's like the Giants, and they're in the World Series. Madison Bumgarner's arms like hanging off his body at this point, and he's like, and it's him, not the like Bochy's like, no, Bochy. He's like, I don't want to use you, Madison. He's like, I'm good, I'll relieve. No, man, I don't want to. I'm relieving. No, don't. Madison, what are you doing? I'm going. And he's just watching on the field, like stitching his arm back together.
Called someone else to show up. Why is Bumgarner back in the game?
Why is Matt bummed there? What's he doing?
Yeah.
I thought we're signing all these guys. Fuck yourself, I'm doing it. He'd never talk like that. He'd be like, I'm doing it. Why? I'm doing it? I don't want to raise my voice at you. He's totally calm and collected. Yeah.
Have you ever met Jim Benning before? I feel like this is the way we gotta cap off the podcast.
Met Jim Benning. I have not met Jim Benning.
Oh, perfect. Well, you're about to meet Jim Benning. Good evening, Jim.
Greg, I want to fuck you here again. What's going on?
So,
Chef, tell me, why do you think Andrew Ladd, why do you think he's with that money? Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me. Why do you think Andrew Ladd with that money? I don't know why I'm going like I tell you right now. I can't stay in this. It's too much. Benning's going on retirement for a month. I can't do it.
So
wait till next week when the Canucks are like, we traded for Ladd. Who'd you give him? All of our prospects. Horvat too.
When did that start? Like, it wasn't the Louis Eriksson deal. It was like the week before the Louis Eriksson.
Oh, it's when they traded Jared McCann for Erica Branson?
It must have been.
Jared McCann is at the at their rookie camp. Yeah,
Florida's rookie camp.
Yep, he just showed up to rookie camp. He
Like
asked if he could
Vancouver?
play. No, for Florida.
Oh, okay.
He's like, could I come? And they're like, I guess. And he's like, yeah, I want to. Apparently, allegedly, everyone on the Canucks are just the greatest guys except for that one 19-year-old. And that was allegedly McCann. Apparently had a quote-unquote like a PK Subban attitude where he liked winning. And so he was pissed off when they would lose. And so it'd be kind of shitty and like pissy. And that's one of the reasons that they traded him, because he had an attitude problem, allegedly. And I'm like, oh, that's a good reason to get rid of one of your, I don't know, none of your prospects. So yeah, that's a good idea. Hey, who'd they trade again? Oh, hey, good Branson, come here. You could, you could wear number 44. Come here.
It's, like, I know we've talked about it, but Florida's going to be a damn good hockey team this year.
For a long time.
And the thing is, too, is, like, they still have Lawson Krause who could come in and play this year, or next year, or the year. Like,
probably next year.
I don't know if it'll be this year.
But
like they have too much on that team right now for him to. I don't think it's worth him playing first line minutes.
That's
He'll
fair.
probably play in the AHL.
Yeah. No, he can't. Oh, yes, he can, because he's older than... No, he can't. Konechny. He's Konechny's age, so he has to go back.
No, but it depends when his birthday is, isn't it?
Right. I know,
Like
because that's a
some
big...
guys-
I don't want to get into it. That's
Like
a
if it's
big
a late-
debate right now with Konechny and Provorov. It's like, Provorov, if you don't keep him,
You have to, right? Because he's not going to. He's one guy who has to go back down, right?
yeah.
has to go back down to junior.
Yeah.
Same as... every Fun fact.
you know what
we
he might-
all have guys. Marner, Provorov, Konechny. Like, you... Oh, man.
I don't think Konechny would be an awful thing to do.
To send him back again? He wouldn't... No, but the
wouldn't
more
hurt.
one
That's the
I'm
one
worried
advantage
about...
of drafting in college.
The more... Well, yeah. The more I'm worried about those Provorov,
Talk
where
to,
it's...
talk to Nashville about that.
Ooh.
Yeah, we'll see.
Hey, actually, the Flyers, speaking of...
Who,
actually, the
who had
Flyers
that-
are one of the teams in on Jimmy Vesey. So that's cool.
Won't find out till August 15th, though.
I don't care.
He wants to go, but no.
He'll go to
Provorov,
Toronto.
I think he should go over to Russia. I think he should go overseas and just
Play 1 year.
like he's just like why not, right? I mean, like as a, it's not gonna feel.
And
I mean,
send
the way,
him to the team that German Rubtsov is on.
yes, if you.
By
want
the
to.
way, I found out this.
Evgeny,
German Rubtsov was like one of the top players on the under-18 team. That under-18 team that got suspended for drugs didn't deter them from drafting him,
No,
which is
no.
hey, they obviously know what's up, I guess.
yeah,
Who's that? Oh, Toronto.
German Rubtsov. No, Flyers.
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 Yeah.
Those are
I know Toronto
first-
had some really
First
good-
rounder, 18th overall. See, I'm
Oh.
surprised.
Is he coming
They
over
were
to Canada though? Is he coming?
No, he's in a contract for 2 years with KHL. Can't even come to like anything sanctioned by Flyers. Not even at trial on the Isle, which is like right now. They're like training camp.
Their rookie camp or whatever?
Yeah, they can't even nothing. 2 years because he's in a KHL contract. He's gonna try and get out of it, but like it's kind of hard to get out of it when, like your bio clause is like $700,000 and you're an 18-year-old. Like where
Yeah,
you
but
find
I mean, I'm sure his signing bonus is probably like his. How much?
Signing bonuses in the NHL for like standard players are anywhere
those?
from like 40 to 80 grand, like
Yeah,
US.
that's right.
It's not like that's a life changing amount of money for sure. Like most guys, like Patrick Laine actually. So we gotta wrap it up, but about Patrick Laine giving it to his parents, the whole thing,
The whole signing bonus.
whole thing. What a nice guy.
Oh.
Kind of like him already. He's rough on the ice though.
He is fucking ugly.
He is.
If there's a girl, this is when you find
Draco Malfoy got uglier,
Yeah.
man. If there's a girl,
this is when you find out the puck bunnies in Winnipeg. Like,
okay.
oh no, he's so cute. No, you fucking like hockey players. dick. He is ugly. He's got like a receded, like his forehead
protrudes
is fucking
out.
enormous. Like again, like whatever. I mean, I'm not the fucking best looking guy in the world either, but he is. Ugly.
Yeah, but when you walk by, people are like, oh, like when we walk by, we're just like, whatever, you know. Like, we're not like, oh, wow, look at that guy. Or like, oh, cool, that's a nice hat. Or like, oh, that guy's got a nice smile. Patrick Laine is one of those guys who like, you look and then you're like, damn. And you look again, like double take, instant
He's
double
an
take.
ogre, and he's 6'4", right, or something like that. So you're gonna look at him and say, oh.
And he's got like the fangles, too.
Yeah.
Like, he's got it.
Ugly. And he's just gonna get uglier and uglier.
Yeah, well, yeah, because he's a hockey player. He's going to lose teeth, everything.
Oh.
All right, closing words. What do we got?
I'm gonna go play Pokemon Go.
Are you playing Pokemon Go?
I don't have Pokemon Go. Do you have Pokemon Go?
I don't have Pokemon Go. No.
I should get Pokemon Go. It's a good way to have a nice brisk stroll.
Did you see that one? Like, there's quotes on the okay, I'll wrap it up real quick. I've said it 4 times now. There's like people online and they're like, oh, I didn't even notice over the weekend, but apparently Pokemon Go's been tracking my steps, and I walked 30 kilometers this weekend. And I'm like, what the fuck do you mean you walked 30 kilometers? What, did you walk for 2 days? What are you talking about? Just walked off. Like, if people play Pokemon Go for like 3 months, they're going to look down and be like, oh, cool, I got abs now.
I lost all this weight.
Whoa!
I was reading on, what is that site? One of the sites, The Onion or something like that.
Okay.
People are sending like nude Pokemon Go pictures now. Like,
Oh yeah, no, it's a part of. I guess this is totally nuts.
But the Diglett, there's like people are putting the Diglett.
Yeah, as if it's their penis.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like, there's a new form of porn now, and actually over the weekend, Pornhub. You should follow them on Twitter, not for like the stuff, but their stats are hilarious. Like around holidays and stuff, they post stats. So funny. Pokemon, Pikachu, Raichu, and like Pokeball is now. It was the top trending search on Pornhub over the weekend.
Really?
Yep. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, but anyways, they released that. That's real funny. I probably shouldn't be promoting porn on here.
No,
but
it's totally fine.
I was
Greg,
just
take us
saying
out.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We have the
instantly
explicit
people
tag.
turn things like this is supposed to be a fun game for everybody.
Yeah.
People, it's like, how can I?
Oh,
make this
okay. Last one.
an
I
adult
promise.
game?
This girl wanted to see if like she was going by water to see if she could find more water Pokemon. She was looking for a Gyarados. Found a dead body. Found a dead body. No.
Gyarados must have got it.
Found a dead body, and in the quote she's like, well, I was going to find Pokemon Go, but then I had to stop because I found a dead body, so I called 911. And they're like, wow, we're glad you put the phone down. And then like the follow-up quote was, didn't find that Gyarados. Or, like, didn't find blank Pokemon. I'm like, what? Why are you, what? Don't follow up. Why would you even tell? Oh, love it. All right, Greg, go.
Thank you for listening to episode 101 of the Last Man In podcast. Until next time, check us out on YouTube at Last Man In Podcast. Gmail, if you want to email the show, at lastmaninpc@gmail.com. On Twitter, at lastmaninpc. Check us out anywhere you get your podcast, whether that's iTunes or Google Play. Last Man In Podcast is the keyword to find us there. So, yeah.
Thank you. See you soon.
Thanks, Stefan.
Bye.